The Billy Mitchell Leadership Award honors one student from each state who embodies the American spirit in his or her community. It's named for a 6-year-old Louisiana boy who helped in the war effort back in World War II. One of the winners of this year's award calls Northeast Nebraska home. KTIV's Jacqueline Aragon has more.
And they said, well, it's a moonshot bet, but you know, it's worth a shot.
That shot hit right on the mark for Aiden Little George Cloud, the 2026 Winnebago Schools graduate that will be representing the state of Nebraska for the Billy Mitchell Leadership Award.
There's a ton of students in Nebraska, especially around Omaha and Lincoln, most populated areas.
The award was named after Billy Mitchell, a kid from Louisiana who in the 1930s helped his school win a statewide scrap metal collection contest during World War II. It honors those who embody leadership, creativity, and perseverance.
And Aiden certainly is a leader, not only in the classroom, but around the community and stuff. Aiden is somebody who is always not afraid to go out there and interview or talk to people. He's a kid that just always has a smile on his face. He's a kid that it's just, I can't think of any way to really get the kid down.
Andrew Halsey is the honors social studies teacher at Winnebago Public Schools. He's been teaching Little George Cloud since he was in middle school.
Political science classes, history classes and stuff. So to see him nominated for an award over history, it just makes sense to me. I'm incredibly proud of him.
I stood true to what my beliefs were entirely. I always loved history, but I always loved talking about politics for the most part.
Come June 2nd, Little George Cloud will be one of 51 students across the U.S. headed to Louisiana to take part in the award ceremony and will be representing the Cornhusker State while he's at it.
This was an award that popped up and I'm like, Aiden's somebody that's perfect for that.
The honor is a twofold for Little George Cloud.
As a Native American, is an honor.
It's something that you just don't see a lot anyway, is the representation in a lot of these fields, especially educational fields and things like that. So to see somebody from the Winnebago tribe in Nebraska get this award, and it's not even just representing the state, he's there representing the tribe as well, is pretty phenomenal.
Now, his message to others in a moonshot bet:
you must always believe in yourself, and when it comes to these circumstances, try and hold on to your beliefs.
Little George Cloud says his ultimate goal after graduating is to become Nebraska's first Native American governor, and sends a big thank you to those who believe in him. Reporting in studio, Jacqueline Aragon, KTIV News.